Hello, Chupirins. How are you all doing? Today, I'm bringing to you a topic that I think I haven't heard anyone talk about it before, but it's time for someone to talk about it because, oh, I know, I have Hardly here with me. Still can't pronounce her name. Maybe I should just give her another name. I don't know what name to give her. Any ideas? But she's so cute. She's so cute, and I love her have being here with me. And she just brings me so much joy. And this little cow. And it's not because of her eyes. I know people first thing they do is see her eyes, but I don't. I see all of these patches because when I was a kid, I liked this type of cows. Ciao, Jovan. Kako ste, chica Jovane? Okay, so today's topic, and today I'm gonna be as direct as possibly I can because I've noticed that in my videos I could get more to the point, but sometimes I just love talking to you. So I think that's another thing that happens. I'm here talking, 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 talking. But I think today's topic is a topic that people don't really talk about much, and they really should be talking about it more. And your brain. Your brain is such a powerful thing that it can create anything in the world. It can create something that you have experienced and something that you have never experienced before. For example, some of us might be afraid of, I'm gonna use snakes. I have a thing with snakes where I am scared of them, but I'm not like. Anyways, I grew up in a countryside, so I kind of had to get used to them being around. But at the same time, I was scared of them, but at the same time, I knew how to deal with them. So I don't know, like it's a strange thing. But some people are claustrophobic, or they're afraid of heights, or they're afraid of insects. And all these fears that we have, at least this one is a little bit more tangible because maybe you have experienced something, you had some not the greatest experience, maybe someone in your family did. But I want to bring a point to you that sometimes we're afraid of things that has never happened. And even these fears that are more tangible, like being afraid of certain animal, there's a very, very, very small percentage that will happen. But I would say that the other fears, like maybe afraid that, um, how do I say this? Like certain fears around our careers. Oh, people are just gonna stop talking to me, or I'm gonna lose my whole family if I choose a career that I love and enjoy. And the truth is, the right people will stay no matter what. I don't care what type of career you choose. The people who love you, who support you, who want to see you well, will always be there. Hi, Barbara. Ciao, Barbara. They will always be there and support you. Now, some of them might just go, and some might be very confused about what you're doing. So, for a moment, they might not be there by your side. But if you have faith, if you have faith in yourself, and this is the second point that I want to make for all of you, and that is you have a choice to live in fear of things that might never happen, and most of them will never happen, or to live in faith and trusting the process. If I didn't live in faith, I will not be making this video right now. And the reason for that is I've been on this journey for a very long time. I started modeling when I was like 21, okay? And I dreamed as a kid to be in the performing arts. That's really what I wanted to do as a very, very young kid. I don't know if I was like 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. I was super young. And I already knew that's what I wanted to do. But somehow I always said to myself, I am not able to do that. My family won't support me. Um, and then I got to a place where, well, I had to choose my well-being. I started to get sick. I just I talk about this all the time. I started to just get to a really dark place in my life that I had to make a choice. And I'm getting very emotional right now because, ciao, Ivana, because even before that, it's not like I was getting so much support from my family, but I knew that going into a direction that wasn't really seen by them as economically stable. It doesn't make any sense, whatever their idea of it is, like, kind of, my dad, I think, thinks that I'm just wasting my time. Sometimes he like says it to me, other times he supports me, right? It's like a 50-50 kind of thing with him. Though I can't say right now he supports me a lot more, right? I'm living in his place and I'm doing what I want. So he's both basically at this point he's like maybe 80-20 or 90-10, right? Which is something that has happened because I put faith and I said, no, I am gonna figure out my life and I'm gonna have faith in it. And the other day I talked to you about plan B. Well, for me, there was no plan B. When I chose this path, because I've been wanting it for so long, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to be in more of a creative field, make videos. Um, I started my YouTube channel. I think I created it. What year was it? Was it like 2011? I think it was like 2011 or 2012. So when I did that, I hoped that, one day I'll get to a place where I make videos regularly. And obviously, I had the dream way before that. But then in 2019 is where I said, no more tomorrow. This is it. I don't care what I have to do. Obviously, everything within legal reasons and moral reasons. I have that very clear and I'm very connected to the things that I would do and I wouldn't do. But in a sense, like if I had to get a second job, if I, I even sloughed once and I said, I would live under a bridge. Luckily, I'm gonna knock into the wood. I never had to live under a bridge, though I got very close to it. um, and just having the faith and saying, I am not giving up on my dreams, and no matter what happens, I will figure out a solution, and that has served me so much. I can't say that I wasn't afraid, but this live here, the conversation I'm having with all of you is your brain is going to create two paths. Obviously, it's going to create other things, right? It's going to create worry and many other things. But here I'm going to talk only about fate and fear. Your brain can create things that have never happened before. And it can predict, if you do this, that will happen to you. So it would keep you from trying. It would keep you from taking a chance. And what happens is when you do that, you stop pursuing what you really care about, what you desire for yourself. And what um what I want you to understand is that if you have faith, it's literally the same way. If you have faith in your dreams, in what you're creating for your life, and you take one action, and you take another action, and another action, and as they say, you don't see the staircase, you have no clue where you're stepping. All you're just doing is believing, having faith, and taking that step, taking one step, the next step, and doing it over and over and over. In the beginning, there are tiny little steps, and after that, there's still tiny little steps, but maybe instead of taking one, you take two at a time, right? So they look like bigger steps, but it's only because you build up to that point to do it. In the beginning, you couldn't do it. You didn't have the experience. You didn't have maybe even the proof. We also need proof. With time, we start to get proof of our project, and we start to see the outcomes, and those things motivate us, and also the experience, right? If I edited 100 videos compared to editing one or two, it's such a big difference. So now my brain, my body have this proof of what I'm capable of what I can do. And when I have that faith and I take that action and now I have the proof, now my faith gets stronger. My belief in myself gets like, you become powerful, you become unstoppable. And right now I can tell you something. Hi, it's Preston. So one thing that I can tell you is when you have faith and you become unstoppable in pursuing anything in your life and creating this incredible life. When I was younger, I always desired to have a relationship with my parents, right? I am accomplishing that with my dad, luckily. There are some things that need to be worked out that are very, very, very important, but there are so many things that have been working out. And I think it's the faith and the work that I've been putting on myself, not on my father, because I don't know how much he has changed. He looks like he has changed, but I really think that he's also changed because I have changed. So now I get to see my dad in a different perspective. And now that I'm pursuing my dreams and I'm creating YouTube videos and I'm doing these regular lives, my perspective of who I am in the world and what I'm capable of accomplishing is also changing so much. It's changing drastically. Like, I am not that girl anymore who can't do things. I'm not that girl anymore who can not speak for herself. Quite the opposite. I feel that my thinking is becoming clearer, my self-expression is, my editing style is getting better, what I feel comfortable with sharing or not sharing. The last vlog I shared with all of you was super unfiltered. Something that a few years ago or so, I would feel so much shame and I wouldn't share it. But because I had the faith and I keep taking action and I keep listening to the people who've been telling me, just keep doing it. And also, don't be afraid to get a little bit vulnerable every single time. And that's the reason why I feel that I am accomplishing so much. And I'm not at the finish line, but nonetheless, I feel so good about what I'm accomplishing, you know? For example, I told you the other day, I'm still not monetized on YouTube. I would love to monetize my YouTube, but now I'm not scared anymore to talk about it because fear is not running the show anymore. Now fate is running the show. And that's exactly what I want for all of you, to really, every single time you mind goes like thinking about, you know, creating things and you find yourself in fear, which a lot of us do find ourselves in fear, especially that the world that we live in right now is so unstable in so many ways, and we have experienced that the last 4 years, probably more than we have in a while. um this is a moment for you to choose faith over fear. Am I gonna have faith, or am I going to let fear keep me small, keep me in a box, keep me in a safe place? And I'm putting in quotation marks because you're not safe where you are, you're just surviving. My Chupirin, you are not safe where you are. You're just surviving like I did for so long, working in corporate, paying my bills, afraid to get into debt, afraid to not look bad in front my family, my friends or whatever, them labeling me as someone out there, like shame, basically shame. And I wasn't really clear of what them labeling me as, but all I know, I was shamed, feeling shame and afraid to go that way. And the moment I stopped being afraid and I said that's my path, because, well, honestly, I was in such a dark place that that was my only path, that was my only solution. I either choose me or I keep getting worse. And honestly, I was alone. I was living by myself in New York City. Even my family lived nearby. They had no clue what was going on in my life. They never really called me. They never asked how I was doing. Like my dad, my mom, my brother once in a blue moon, but he was also dealing with his life really far away. He didn't live nearby. He lived really far away. Um, so no, I was alone, and I was like, well, what am I really afraid of? Really? A shaming or making my family look bad who clearly isn't even around at all for me. So I had to choose me. I had to choose me, and I chose it with so much faith, with so much trust that I will figure out every single time, every step along the way. I will find a solution, and that kept me going. Hi Nathan, it's lovely to see you here. I hope you watched this video if you didn't see it till now, because I really think it's gonna make a really big difference. All right, Chupirins, I'm gonna leave you here. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Probably gonna share another vlog. My goal is to continue editing, and hopefully I can edit it tomorrow. Might be even be Tuesday, and I'll continue to show up over here, on this vlogmas territory, making live videos, because, well, that's what I feel like doing right now. Feels right. It feels good. And for all of you who are watching, so much love and faith over fear always.